Alright, what's up everyone, Petko here. We have been waiting this for quite a while. Elemental Shaman talent trees finally out. So what has been changing? What will we be playing? Are they good? Are they bad? All the questions are going to be answered today in this video. Hope you enjoy, stay until the end, and let's begin. Alright, first thing first, I would like to say before I begin, there's going to be two kind of talents. First of all, a general talents for shamans and a only elemental based talents that will be available for every single spec in the game. So shaman is no different than our now. I would like to also mention that several of our core abilities are going to be locked behind a talent points in the general shaman tree. For example, something like Astral Shift or our wind shield, which is our pretty much interrupt, or earth elemental or spirit focus grace. Things that has been previously baseline for us are now going to be locked behind talents. Again, those talents are very early on and they will be anyway picked up, so it doesn't really matter. Now, what I like about the build is it gives you the flexibility. The flexibility, for example, to choose which route do you want to go for. You can choose to have a stun or not have a stun. You can choose, for example, to get a purge or not get a purge. You can have an optional tremor totem and so forth and so forth and so forth. It depends in which exactly scenario you can fit your utility. You might not want to get, for example, a poison totem which removes poisons, but in others you might need it. Vice versa, for example, for tremor totem. It might be useful in some keys, but the rest could be useless. So based on this, you can adjust the talent tree and pick whatever you really like. I'll give you some of the highlights that I'm going to be going for myself, but one thing that stood outside of this is something called Stone Skin Totem, which is pretty much on the very last row of the general shaman trees, which is a physical totem that reduces the incoming physical damage by 10% for the whole party. Imagine your tank having like 10% perma DR on all the physical damage incoming his way. Insane. And it has a 30-second cooldown. Insane. You know, you're also going to be having a Nature's Guardian, which is going to be kind of a built-in. It's going to be in one of the most talent trees, I would say, for early shaman. A Gust of Wind, which in my opinion is one of the most valuable shaman talents out there. It's kind of a leap forward in a way of like Goblin Jump. Very insane. 20-second city. There's a talent to get down to like 15 seconds, but I think 20 is just fine. Some other highlights I could say are Nature Swiftness, which can be used as a offensive ability, which pretty much, if you don't have the earthquake, if you don't have the Maelstrom from the earthquake, you can place this one in the middle of cooldown and use it without the Maelstrom incoming. Insane, you know. Again, there's also different talents that can help you out. One last bit I would say is that you're gonna get a 6% DR from Elemental Warding, which is pretty much makes you like very tanky, right? A 6% passive DR is like having a perma, bear as a balance rate. Very good. You know, I'm so good. I'm so like happy to see that thing. Again, as I said, this is gonna be the build that I'm gonna be using myself. I hope you guys see it on screen right now. And then based on this, I'm gonna be adjusting for every single dungeon depending on where I need my utility. As I already said, if I need a purge, I put a purge. If I need a, for example, my cleanse poison totem, I'm gonna put that totem. So it depends on the dungeon. I'm gonna be shifting talents, but those are gonna be the general talents I'm gonna go for most of the time. So without further ado, let's go to the only specific Elemental Shaman talent trees. Alright, so first thing first, what has been changing for Shaman going to the alpha of Dragonflight? Honestly, not many changes are coming down on Shaman baseline changes, but one notable thing I would say is like Elemental Blast now is an optional talent that when you spec to it, you pretty much replace the Earth Shock. So instead of generating Maelstrom from Elemental Blast, you can spin Maelstrom on Elemental Blast, and that will substitute Earth Shock, which pretty much if you play Ecos, well, you're gonna be doing the cast Earth Elemental Blast, which I think, in my opinion, for Mythic Plus builds is gonna be not as good. First of all, Earth Shock is a baseline, Earthquake is a baseline. You know, those are going to be like the must go to talents, and I believe every single person will pick them. So it goes to Elemental Fury and also, you know, the Elemental main cooldown. Now, here I'm not going to be talking about what kind of builds you're going to be playing. That's going to be a separate video, but I'm going to just show you exactly what the talents are, and we're going to explain to them. Okay, so first thing first, on the left side you have a chance between going down the two roads. One road is getting extra maelstrom when you interrupt, which again is a pretty useful resource, but this one is increase the chances of your earthquake knocking down enemies by 50%. So pretty much if you're playing the earthquake build, which you should be playing this build, you yourself have a higher chance to knock enemies down, potentially interrupting a cast, stopping important abilities, making the mobs damage the tank a lot less frequently, which will make the tank more tanky. Again, Cold Thunder, must talent, high voltage, not as useful, but you're gonna be getting Stormkeeper. Now our goal is to get down to the Stormkeeper as soon as we can, you know. That's why I'm going this route. Now you might see something called Ice Fury being picked up for Mythic Plus, and then we're gonna go with the Electrified Shocks. And you might ask me, Petko, you're playing Ice Fury in Mythic Plus? How does that make sense? Well, let me tell you something, guys. I think that's gonna be our new build. You know, it's looking very interesting, and I myself am going to be very excited to play it. But having Ice Fury Mythic Plus will make your skill cap explode. It's going to become much harder to play Mythic Plus, however, a lot more rewarding for the players itself. So that means the worse the player is, the lower DPS they're going to do, and the better the player is, the more damage they're going to be doing. Okay, so again, myself, I'm looking forward to test this on stream. I'm going to be testing this for a whole week and different builds as well. At the end of the week, once I'm done testing everything, including Ascendants, you know, Skybreakers, Echoes build, Mastery build, and so forth and so forth and so forth, I'm going to make a video separate to this video talking only about the builds, the pros and cons, and what I would recommend for each, you know, Mythic Plus or rating or PvP. Alright, next to the talent 3, Flash of Lightning. So anytime you cast Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning, you reduce the cooldown of your nature spells by a minute. Now, nature spells also come down to like Stormkeeper included, Nature Swiftness, but obviously there are a lot more, but I'm just giving you like the general, you know, things. That will also impact totems as well. For example, the Stone Skin totem, definitely impactful. Nonetheless, I would say it's gonna be a go-to talent in my opinion. Okay, again, Echoes of the Great Sundering, a must have a Mythic Plus. I believe at a 99% that is gonna be our go-to build. Echoes once again, and again at the very end you have a chance between picking up Stormkeeper or Lightning Rod. Now what is Lightning Rod? Pretty much Lightning Rod. So your Earth Shock or Earthquake casts have a 100% chance to make your target a lightning rod for 8 seconds. Now again, it says target, but also applies for all targets if you do have Earthquake. Lightning Rod takes 25% of all the damage you deal with Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning. It's kind of a passive, you know, funnel damage in a way. So you have a choice between Lightning Rod or again Stormkeeper. Now you might think, okay, but like if I get one Stormkeeper already previously, why do the second one? I'll tell you why right now. It's because you're gonna be having an extra charge. It's like, if you remember back this season, for example, the Lava Burst, once you play, for example, Echo of the Elements, you have 2 charges. It's gonna be now the same for Stormkeeper if you go down that route. I think that's gonna be our must left 3, and now I think the middle 3 is gonna be just as good. Again, I'm gonna be skipping myself Master the Elements. I don't think that's going to be as good with the Mythic Plus build, especially if you do plan to play Storm Ellie. I don't think it's going to be as strong, so I'm skipping this one. I'm also skipping the Max Maelstrom. I don't think it's going to be as good in my opinion, unless you're a beginner player. This can help you out, but the advanced players don't need more Maelstrom. They just need better management, I would say. Aftershock, must allow to have, as always, for Mythic Plus, insane. Power of Maelstrom. Casting Lava Burst has a 10% chance to cause your next 2 Lightning Bolts or Chain Lightning cast to trigger Elemental Overload an additional time. Now, that is why I told you guys it's very important to precast Stormkeeper, Lava Burst into Flame Shock at the very beginning of each boss fight. Again, this wouldn't really make sense to be casted Lava Burst during Storm Elemental on like a massive mobs, so like 3-4 mobs, but like bosses and stuff, this will make your damage a lot higher. And again, a very good news coming down, I'm gonna show you right now. Increase the damage dealt by your elemental overloads by 15%. So pretty much once you overload, you're gonna be getting the same damage as you are gonna be getting from normal attack. Well, roughly the same damage, I would say, like small percent difference, I would say. And the very last talent row is something that I really myself personally like, and that is called Mountains Will Fall. Look what it does. Earthshock and Earthquake can trigger your mastery. Elemental Overload at a 50% effectiveness. That means if I put an Earthquake, there could be another Earthquake casted immediately for free at the very same second, and that's gonna do the 50% of the base damage of the Earthquake or Earthshock. Especially if you pair this with like Aftershock or for example Eco Steel, this can make some insane God bless RNG, sorry for the curse word. And you know, in my opinion, it's gonna be likely one of the best builds that you're gonna play for Mythic Plus, and likely the build I'm gonna be testing first on stream tomorrow once I wake up. Now, one thing to consider and also mention to everyone is Primordial Bond is gonna be a active DR on yourself once you have your elementals out. Now, why is that important? Because previously Shaman has struggled to survive in Mythic Plus. However, the 5% passive DR and 6% coming from also elemental warding, you're gonna be having 11% passive damage reduction. I repeat, 11% passive damage reduction. Tell me a better talent than this last one. None. This is absolutely insane, you know. Again, we're gonna go down this tree. I'm gonna be going for trying to get Skybreaker Fury Demise, because I want to be getting Sky Fury Demise, Ecos, and also Mountain Will Fall. Because again, if you don't know, Skybreaker will make your Flame Shock damage over time. Critical Strike reduces the cooldown of your Storm Elemental by a second, and Flame Shock has a 50% increased critical strike chance. Again, if you combine Skybreakers with Flames of the Cauldron, makes your Flame Shock tick 15% quicker. You can get your elemental pretty much like 30, 40, 50 seconds faster, you know. And if you include at the very end something, for example, like Flash of the Lightning, that can further reduce the Storm Elemental cooldown by like 10-15 seconds each, which can make your Storm Elemental every minute and a half, even less than that, you know. Absolutely insane in my opinion. Again, I think Storm Ellie is going to be the go-to build for Mythic Plus. I do believe so, quite frankly. And if that's not the case, then I'll be very surprised. Again, so Flame Tongue weapons has been changed right now. I don't think we're going to be using any other, for example, Shadow Core Oil like back in the days. I think we're going to be using right now the Flame Tongue weapon, because it's going to make our single target a little bit higher. A 5% increase to all of your fire spells for 1 hour. Again, if you do play the full lighting build, you might not want to play this one. But if you play, for example, Lava Burst into like, you know, Elemental, this could be very useful. Again, Sky Fury Demise at the very end is going to be the must play for Mythic Plus. Previously, Magma Chamber is going to be quite good. It's going to make you stack and make sure that you Flame Shock consistently, so you can get, for example, your next Earthshock or Earthquake empowered. Very useful, and you can also min-max it and bang it for next pull, right? Again, this is not a build kind of video. It's more of like a general overview, what I think about it, first thoughts. Again, I already did it on stream. I gave you guys a 1 hour and a half full deep dive with every single talent and my ideas behind it. I'm gonna put the vote down in the description. You guys can check out the full vibe. Again, this is most the highlights, close cut to the cheese, kind of like not waste your time in a way. But I'm gonna make a separate video for all the builds that I think are gonna be applicable for Mythic Plus or rating or even PvP, and you guys can be the judge and play them if you do want to. Again, any questions, you guys can head over our Discord, join the stream, check out our Patreon or our socials, and ask me any questions you guys have. Until then, take it easy, boys. Thank you for watching once again, and see you on stream very soon. Peace out.